Hello, hello. The assignment mask has been released. You can have a check via the model. Just go to the submission link. You should be able to get the marks. And the lab 3 and lab 4 is released as well. Yeah. For any question, just let me know. Today we can have a look of the lab 6. The lab 6 is about the cellular networks. This part is contains some calculation of the clustering. So maybe we can have a look at the electrolyzer first. Yeah, should be the week 4 content. So let's firstly figure out why should we have this kind of image here. So we are talking about the cellular networks. So when we trying to have a cellular networks for our city, so we need to plan where should we place the station, right, in the city. So you can see there are some blocks in this graph. So one block, which means one station at this area, and it will cover like this area and trying to distribute the content to our mobile phone. And as you can see, different color represent different frequencies. So why should we have different frequency in here? As you can see, why should we have three different color for our cellular network? The reason is to avoid interference. So if all of them are using the same frequency, that probably we will have a like congestion during the transmission because we only have the one frequency bandwidth to be used. So usually it's not enough. So if we get more user, more frequency will be used. So now we figure out why should we have this kind of arrangement for the cellular network. The next part is about the clustering. So here are some example for what is the clustering in here. So basically, just the how many different frequencies do we have for each area, or you can say each block. And we have some important calculation in here. You can see this equation. If we are using hexagonal cells, which is the shape like this, then the calculation of the clustering will depends on the two different value I and value J. So let's figure out what is value I and value J right now. We can have a look at this example here. So in here, the clustering size is 19, and the value of I and J is 3 and 2. Do you know why? Even without knowing the value of I and J, we can still figure this out because of that equation in here. So we just come to here. If the value n equal to 19, we just need to like keep trying what's the value for I and J, and the possible value for I and J could be from 0 to infinity. Is that okay? So we can just use this equation to get the I and j value, or we can use the value of I and j to calculate what is the value for the value n, which is the clustering size. And in here, we also have an algorithm how to figure out what is the next frequency, what is the next location of the same frequency. So the step one is to move I cells because the I value equal to 3, right? So we just move to the right-hand side for 3 block, and then we turn 60 degree, turn counter clock degree, so which is this side, and move J cells. So because the value of J is 2, so just 1, 2. That's the reason why we draw another A here. Is that okay? So just very simple and basic algorithm. And after knowing this, we can have a look of the LAB6. So in the LAB6 task 1, we are going to draw a map for the frequency. So now it's saying that clustering size equal to 9. So we are going to use 9 different frequency for the map. And what should we do is just plot all the cell A in the map. So just to plot something here. So according to the equation, if the n value is 9, so what could be the possible value for I and j? So in here, the n value is equal to 9 because n equal to like plus j, the power of j plus I times j. So the possible value for I and j could be I0 equal to 3, j equal to 0, or vice versa. You can also say j equal to 3, I equal to 0. And then now we can draw the like figure out what is the location with that algorithm. So just 1, 2, 3, we move 3 block, and this is another A. And 1, 2, 3, this is another A. 1, 2, 3, this is another A. And 1, 2, 3, this is also another A. 1, 2, 3 in here. 1, 2, 3 in here. So this one is pretty easy, right? And now we can have a look of the second question. So what's the frequency reuse factor? Oh yeah. So if the cluster size equal to 12, so what should be the cell A? Where will we have the A in this map? So you just do the same calculation and draw the same map. Like, but the value of I and j should be different, right? Uh, I will leave this question to you, but maybe we can use the program to do the calculation. Let me show you. So we can just simply define a function that can help us to do the calculation. Calculates, and we have a value n, which is integer, and we will return a tuple of the value of I and j. So maybe print I and j, the value of I and j. So what can we do is, because the value of I and j is from 0 to infinity, so for I in range 0 and let's say 100, and for j in range 0 to 100, and if n equal to I, the power of I, and the power of j, and plus I times j, then we print this value, and then we use this function to have a try. You can see it will give us the value of I and j. So let's try another one. When a equal to 12 is 2 and 2. Okay. So if we already know the value of I and j, so we should be able to easy to figure out what is the location of the nearest A, right? So in here, just give you an example. From here should be like 1, 2, and 1, 2. This is the next value, next A. And you just figure out all the position for A. And just put it in your report. And the next one is the using the map to plot all the frequencies in the cluster. Okay, so in this task C, we are going to draw a map with all the letters, like because now the cluster size is 9, right? So cluster size is 9, then we just draw a map like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, I. So now we have a block. Clustering size is 9, and we already know where's the next A, right? Because the I of J value will be 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. This is the next A. And then we put, maybe we use a different color so you can easily figure out which is the clustering. And in here, you just remember we need to keep their relative location. For example, the B is always on the top of A. So we just always put B on the top of A, and C, D, E, F, G, and H, I, and like this. Is that okay? But this method is not correct in my point of view, because if you come to here, when we come to here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, this will be another A, right? So we are not able to have my E here at this place. So you have a trouble here. You need to figure out how to draw this map. Right? So I think maybe you want to uh, replace just change the location of these two values, maybe to another place. So I will just leave this question to you, and it should not be very hard. And you can use like tools to draw this map, or you can just uh, print it in a A4 paper and draw it on the A4 paper, then scan it to your report. It's okay. And I don't think this link will work right now. So this link maybe it's expired. So I guess just take a screenshot of this one and do your task based on the screenshot. And what's next? Let's have a look at the task two. But if you have any trouble with the task one, just let me know. For the task two is signal strength stuff, just like the lab 2 and lab 3. Basically, we are going to test the cellular network signal strength on our mobile phone. So you need to open your mobile phone. If you are using Android mobile phone, then you just download some software. For example, this one, Network Cell Info Lite. This is a software on Android phone. So just install it, and then you will be able to see what is the signal strength for your cellular network. And left-hand side is for iOS. If you run a command, you are not required to install any softwares. You just need to run a command in your mobile phone. Then you should be able to see what is the signal strength. In here, I put a shortcut for my mobile phone. So you can see in this screen, maybe in your mobile phone, the layout is slightly different, but you just go to the section of LTE and then find the value of RSRP, which is the signal strength, and which is the minus 98. So what can you do to figure out what is the signal strength? If you are using iPhone, you can have a try of it right now. Just trying to call this number. So you just go to try to make a phone call to this number, then you will be able to entering the debug mode for your uh, mobile service provider. So this is the layout of the Optus. If you are using Telstra or Vodafone, you may have different layouts or user interface in for this one. So you can have a look. Maybe some of the mobile service provider that does not give you the information for ISRP. So if you have this issue, maybe try to use another mobile phone or borrow your friend's mobile phone to do this task. If you have an Android mobile phone, you should have no problem at all. Yeah, so what should we do with the signal strength in here? We are going to plot the signal strengths at different location of your home. So we are going to do this. So what does it mean is like we are going to plot a graph in the report. For example, this is my home and this is my balcony and we have a wall in the middle and this is the door and this is the bedroom and this is the living room. This is balcony and just have something like this. And then we are going to plot a graph like it. Just make a backup. So I'm going to bring my mobile phone like to different location of my room. For example, I put a maybe I put it in here. I have a try in here, and I have a try in here, have a try in here, have a try in here, 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 here. So I just put different value in here. Let's say this is minus dBm 98, this is minus 78 dBm, and minus dB, and etc. So we just fill in different values in here. Minus 66 dBm, like this. So we just submit a map like this and should be okay. So firstly, you need to test the signal strength at an elevated position. So if you have a look at the specification, it says we need to draw a map for the elevated position. You can just put your mobile phone placed on a chair so you can maintain the same elevated distance from the ground, right? So this is the first map. Uh, just put it here. Wait. Uh, let's say it's 1 meter high, and then we need to put our mobile phone on the ground. So you need to have two maps. So you just put this one like on the ground, and then you just do the same thing. Let's say you have a position pointing here, so we just do the same path. Have a pointing here, and you have a point here, have a point here. You just do the same stuff, and you will have a different value if you put it on the ground comparing to on the chair. Same, the same here. So you just put two different graphs in your report, and uh, also write a paragraph of your comment for your observation. Then the task two is finished. So this task is not very hard, but you will be able to like observe some interesting results from this kind of experiment. So next time when you have very weak signal strength for your mobile phone, then you will be able to know should you like put your mobile phone to a higher position or lower position, right? When you're in like very extreme area, let's say you went to the forest and it could save your life. Is that okay? So this is the LAB6. Just let me know if you have any trouble. And uh, of course, we already released the marks for LAB2 to LAB4. You can have a check of your feedback. And we also released the marks for the assignment for the phase one. So kindly have a check while the submission link.
I really sorry.
Hello.
Yeah, I still don't understand about the second task. What I mean is, if we are not using MATLAB, how to do the submission
Like I
for the
didn't get
task
you.
two? For
again?
the task one, I already understand about how to draw and how to put the channel and everything else. But the second task, uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So I just repeat.
Without MATLAB.
Okay. So I just repeat. What should we do? So at the end of your task two, you should be able to have this kind of graph, right?
Okay,
So how can we get the value of the graph? Like, so where can we get this value? So firstly, you need to install a software for your Android phone or run the command for your iOS mobile phone. So it depends what's your mobile phone. You should be able to like have this kind of interface in your mobile phone to get the signal strength of your cellular network.
okay,
So assuming you are using the Android phone, then you will be able to see the value of it, right? So you
yep,
just basically move the value to the map. So why we have two different graphs? Because the position is the same, but the height is different. So in the first graph, we put our mobile phone on a chair. So
okay,
you just have in here and then put your mobile phone over the chair and then do the test. And in the second graph, we put our mobile phone on the ground.
on the
So
floor.
the value could be different. I'm not going to say must be different. Could be the
Yep.
same. But usually they have different value.
Okay.
So that's the task two. Is that okay?
Okay, so basically I just need to draw the floor map of my house, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm doing the signal checking by the apps and put the RSSI number there, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
No need to
Yeah.
do with MATLAB, right?
Yeah.
MATLAB.
So you just need to use your mobile phone to do the data
Ah,
collection. So
okay,
just
so
on software on your mobile phone to get the value and plot it on the graph on the
yeah,
map.
so I just need to put the graph on the PDF only, no need explanation and everything else.
I think maybe you want to put a paragraph of your observation. Let me have a check. Yeah, maybe just one short paragraph
Oh, okay,
about like what's your observation.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay then, understood really. Thank you.
that's all good. Uh, how many labs will we have in total? I think we have 9 different labs, and every single lab will be counted.
Every week.
Yes.
I'm using a iPhone, and I ran the command on my phone. However, I don't know why it's not refreshing.
Oh,
The
yeah.
wa- the time doesn't refresh. I closed my phone as well, but it just stays that. So I ran the initial command at 3:25, and even when I do it now at 3:35, it still says last updated at 3:25. I don't know how to refresh or something like that.
Uh, because the value of it should be refreshed automate like
It,
automatically. If
it just
it
says the
doesn't,
same. I tried changing the elevation moving, but it doesn't update for some reason. I'm not sure why.
it could have two reasons. The first one is your mobile phone updated very slow, and the second reason is they are really the same value. So maybe you can have a test of it, like let's say right now, and then after one hour you just try again if you can get the same value or not. I'm not pretty sure.
Okay, I can give it a try because I just had a look now and was still giving the same thing.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, just let me know if you didn't get your marks. I will have a chat on the Moodle page. Stop sharing right now. Feel free to share your screen if you have any trouble. Okay, I'm going to stop the recordings so I can make the video very short to save time when you watching the recording.